Hello, let's continue discussing how to split the weights to joints. Currently, most the weights are assigned to the skin mesh as we mentioned before. It can be only used in Maya. It will work fine if you only animate your character in Maya, but if we need to export it to 3ds Max or Game Engine, we need to convert these weights to the actual Maya joints or bones. Let's first open the tool. Then select the model. Go to the weight painting mode. We can find the influence skin mesh. We can directly use this tool to split it. Split the currently active influence object. Hold on a moment. It's calculating. Okay, let's take a look at it now. In fact, we have split the weights to these joints. Okay. Now let's see the result. It's basically similar to the previous one. It's able to keep the weights between multiple joints smooth. If you want to make further modifications in skin mesh mode and want to reverse the weights back original, just select the model and go to weight painting mode. Select any previous joint. Click on this button to reverse all back. But I'll skip it now. Then we can continue painting using joints. Okay, this is individually splitting. We can split one skin mesh by another, while we can split them all at once. Take a look, the one-time splitting. Just click on this to split all the influences. Click OK. It's calculating now. Let's wait for a moment. Now, it has been split. Let's take a look. Ops, not yet, it's running. Now, we have completed the splitting. After the split, these skin meshes will no longer affect the model. Then we can hide them for now. We don't need them from now on. Let's see how the result looks. You can see that there's a slight difference compared to the previous result. But it's not significant. This is how we split the weights to the joints. Let's take a look. It's mostly good. We've quickly assigned the weights. For most projects, this is sufficient. Then we might need to make some adjustments in these areas. Take a look at this. The result here for the eyelid is not ideal. We need to do some tweaking. We might need to upgrade this in next version. Basically, the result is acceptable. Do these pose? It's easier to achieve this by our tool. Let's do some additional tweaking here. Let's show the joint and display them smaller. These areas are calculated by the averaging algorithm. If we have enough joints, it won't be a problem. But we have relatively few joints. So the result is not very good. We'll improve the algorithm in the next version. Let's unlock all of these first. Let's add a little bit here. Not too much. We'll gradually brush it in little by little. This should be done quickly. In this area, let's move it downward. Here in this area. It moves down along with the main controller, right? Let me add more influence with this joint, so it won't move down. Let's continue. Yeah, this area needs more weight. It didn't calculate it properly. This time, it will be better. Take another look. Just like that, I'll gradually fix this area. The same goes for TH right side. The Big Eye cartoon character will be more difficult than regular character, because we had fewer joints here. We need to make some adjustments. If we were working on a cartoonish character, we might not have enough joints now. We'll address that in future upgrades. Let's add more weight here. We still need to carefully adjust these areas. Let's start with an approximation now. These areas all need further adjustment. We can even modify this one, including its controller. When the eyes are closed, the position of controller. All of these can be changed. Then, using this button, we can update the controller's target positions for some facial expressions. I've just made some general adjustments. But you might need to fine-tune it further to make it more smooth. And the same method for the lower eyelid. So, by now, we've basically finished creating the facial rigging by our toolkit. Let me take a look. Joint. Good. For the facial expressions we're not satisfied with, we can make adjustments. If we're not satisfied with these facial expressions, we can update by our last step. For example, let's pull this one down a bit. We'll still use this to update facial expression tool. Here. Let's update it. Let's see how it looks. We also have some pre-built lip shapes here. The commonly used ones. We have some presets for those as well. And there's an eyebrow here too. This eyebrow is quite simple. I'll just bind it to this joint directly. Bind it. Then I'll copy all the weights to it from the head. Generally, I've done the facial rigging. Mirror it. Including the facial expressions we modified. We have to mirror all of them by our tool. What does this mirror mean? Mirror means, for example, if I create an upward smiling expression, I might feel that the intensity is not quite right. So I can make adjustments, like pulling it up a bit. Let's display this edge. We want to make it more smooth. Now, the parameters are on the controller, right? With this update function, we can record the data from the controller to the rigging nodes. Now it has it. After making adjustments on the left side, we need to do the same for the right side. We can use the mirror button to do that. Once we've done the left side, the right side is basically the same, right? Then, by the way, let me make some complement for the template. In a single project, the rigging would be similar for various characters in controllers and stature. For example, in an anime project, there are a lot of characters. You can rig one character first. After completing one, you can delete the model and create a new template. Then save that template in the specified location under AnimCraft. And that's how you store the template for future use. Later, when you rig a new character, it will be using this template in priority. Because you have already adjusted the facial rigging controllers and stature, it will be better to match the stature of the character. Using template, it will be more friendly and faster. Thanks for watching.